When I was young and was, first studying philosophy, I think like a lot of people, I kind of I idealized and idolized Socrates. He's this
Mm.
great thinker. We all want to be Socratic. I mean, I think he's still a great thinker and still important, but I also think he's kind of an asshole, you know? Um, I don't think I kind of agree with Aristotle, this irony stuff. Sometimes it's really kind of a put on, you know? Why not just come out and say what you actually do think? And, why didn't he take care of his kids? To me, that's a big problem. You get to say, oh, if I can like get along with Xanthippe, I can get along with anyone. That seems like a terrible idea, for a marriage, you know.
I mean,
So
not to mention his interlocutors just accepting premises that it's like, whoa, 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 you're under no obligation to accept that. You can, you know,
yeah,
he
I
just
mean, sometimes they
kind
do
of
and
plays
sometimes they don't. There's some who do push back, right? Um, in the early dialogues, it tends to be more, oh yeah, let me go along with you, Socrates. I think in the Gorgias, you know,
yeah.
Gorgias is kind of a pushover, but I don't think Polus and Callicles are.
Meno certainly is.
Yeah, yeah. And Ion, he's such a nice guy. He's willing to take Socrates saying, you don't have any idea what the hell you're doing, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I guess I don't. What a surprise. But I mean, that also shows us something about the friendliness that they display, you know. I mean, that would be an interesting topic to write about. So Aristotle's conception of friendliness, as we talked about, has to do with setting limits, what you're willing to let people say, what you're going to collaborate or cooperate in, and whether you're willing to give people pain at the right time.
Mhm.
Are some of Socrates' interlocutors too much of a pushover? Like, should Ion have been? He's not obsequious, right? He's not butt kissing, but he wants to get along, and he thinks that Socrates will be able to help him out understanding his own art. Should Ion have been more critical? We also see pushback with Glaucon and Adamantus, right, in book 2 of the Republic, where they're like, you dispatched Thrasymachus, but you didn't really deal with his points.
Mhm.
Let me reframe this in a stronger way, and then
Yeah.
they tag team Socrates with something that they don't even themselves believe in. They say that this isn't my position, but people say this sort of stuff. How would you respond to it? They're stronger interlocutors, but
Yeah.
Glaucon's Plato's brother. You know,
True.
so I mean, who else gives good pushback? Um, I mean, I don't think anybody in the symposium is, but they're kind of preoccupied with their own speeches.
No.
Phaedrus
Maybe
is too young in the Phaedrus to do much of anything. Yeah, go ahead.
maybe Parmenides.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah. Young Socrates. He points out some problems with the doctrine of the forms. Um, So that's one. I mean, does Protagoras adequately push back against Socrates? The way the dialogue is structured is more like Protagoras putting forth stuff and then Socrates attacking it. So maybe not. Um, yeah, it's the really good pushback ones are kind of limited. And we have the ones where it's not really Socrates, but somebody else presenting the doctrine, like the Athenian strange or the Eleatic stranger, right? I remember when I was a grad student reading Windelband saying the law is Plato's last and senile work, and it was often just dismissed as like,
Yeah.
who wants to read this shit. But it's actually quite good.
Yeah, for sure.
And he certainly goes into much greater depth about many topics that we might be interested in from the earlier dialogues in the laws. I mean, it's the longest of his pieces, right? So I think it's kind of undervalued stock, you could say.